So what we're doing today is going to be showing you how to remove the display on the Quick 4 from INOKIM. It's very straightforward. Up front is where we're going to start. These wires here, there are 4 I believe. Disconnect them. The brake cable, the throttle, I should say the brake sensor wire, the throttle. If they give you trouble, wiggle them back and forth just gently. You don't want to put undue stress on the joints here or up anywhere else. These are small wires. They can break. So once those 4 are done, there are screws on the side. There's 1, 2, and the other side has duplicates, 2.5 millimeters. We'll take that out. I've already pre-loosened everything. So that one's out. Take the remaining 3 out. Take the wires in front, now that they're loose, and push up. Display will rise up. Wiggle it back and forth. Down here, 1, 2, 3, 4 wire heads are not going to fit through the hole at the same time. Get 1 through, 2, 3, everything else follows. So down here will be your main display wire. This one is damaged, so we're going to be replacing it. That section right there. Normally, this will be connected and it'll pull up. You'll want to hold it, let's see, somewhere about here, because it is spring loaded. The reason being, there's what's called a spring wire. This whole thing is coiled, so it's under tension. Pulling up on this, if you need to disconnect your display, hold this in place with a paper clip, a small clamp, something to keep it from bouncing back down inside. That is how you check the top connectors for the display on the INOKIM Quick 4. So now we've got the display off. This is the head of the spring wire. The bottom runs down into here, under this little plastic panel. This can be easily removed. There is a set screw just on this side. Remove that. This whole piece comes up and you'll be able to see the connection. Right here is the bottom of it. So it runs up through the steering post up to the top here. So if we need to access the wire to check its integrity, what we can do is at the base, remove this rubber grommet. We can lower the steering post a bit to give us a bit more slack to work with. And I would recommend tying a string or a piece of tape to this so that it doesn't come, so it's easier to feed back up when we put it in. I'm going to be completely removing this one, but you'll want to do that in the future if you need to put it back in or a new one. And what you want to do is just wiggle the spring wire back and forth. Make sure the top is hooked. And there we go. Don't pull too hard, because you can break things. So that is the wire itself. If you end up having your string come loose and you had no way to feed this up because it only fits in so far, just demonstrate. So it'll go up to a certain point. Feeding the spring in is a little tricky. It can be done, but to make things easier, this top section comes off. So there are 2 screws here, also 2.5 mil, and 2 screws in the front. It may be stuck in place, so it may need some tapping with a block of wood or a soft mallet, but this will lift up and you should have better access to the interior for fishing up the spring wire. So as mentioned before, the spring wire connects in here. It makes a connection down to the controller wire. Just taking this plastic cover off is very simple. A 2mm Allen key in the screw just to the left of the folding pedal. Squeeze that out. Lift up on this wire, and there you go. That's your connector in there. Simple to put back together. Don't forget this rubber grommet. Slot in the top section first, and then the bottom, and the set screw just goes back in there.